When he discovers that his mother was part of a gang of rebels, a young spy decides to leave his agency and join the group, whose mission is to raise funds for the poorest. Today we're going to recap the story of the 2019 movie, Edge and Alley. 15 years ago, a ship is standing at a pier receiving a shipment of mysterious goods. Some security guards have been hired to patrol the place, but that doesn't stop Nikki and Aaliyah from breaking into the boat. After attacking some guards, the two young women end up surrounded by armed men and Nikki uses a light bomb to distract them. She then helps her partner eliminate each of them. After getting rid of the threats, they investigate the containers in search of a synthetic heart that will be used to save the life of a friend who is very ill. When she finds what she is looking for, Aaliyah calls Nikki to leave, but they are both surprised by the arrival of MATA agents. At this point, they try to defeat them in order to escape, but this time they are up against very powerful opponents and not even their state-of-the-art technological devices are able to help the girls get rid of them. Then, seeing Nikki being attacked by Gans, Aaliyah realizes that her friend is in trouble because her foot is trapped under one of the containers. The girl immediately finds a way to distract her opponents and, after rescuing Nikki, flees on her motorcycle carrying the synthetic heart. However, while they are trying to get off the ship, they come under attack again and this time they have nowhere to escape. Aaliyah decides to sacrifice herself so that her partner can take the device to Makia and stays behind to face her enemies. In the present day, the mayor of Cyberia is attacked by a group of rebels who invade his aircraft with the aim of eliminating him. While the security guards try to capture the invaders, the mayor and his bodyguard hide inside an airplane cabin. When they realize that the intruders are about to enter the cabin, they send out a call for help and a MATA team promptly comes to their rescue. When he sees the three young people, the mayor breathes a sigh of relief because he knows they are capable of stopping the invaders. Alicia then uses her slingshot to throw bullets capable of immobilizing the enemies, but one of them manages to break free and exchanges a few blows with the young heroes until he is captured again. When he realizes that he won't be able to win the battle, the masked man blows up the wall of the plane so that he and his companions can escape. Just then, the mayor is sucked out and Alicia jumps in after him. Quickly, Bakar uses a device to cover the hole caused by the explosion and Ali takes control of the aircraft. If the plane crashes in the city, hundreds of people will be in danger, so Agent Fit decides to intervene and interrupts Ali's work. Just as Alicia was about to save the mayor, Bobby appears and finishes the mission. Everyone then returns safely to the plane and Cyberia is rescued. That same day, Ali is taken to the base of the agency he works for and discovers that he made a big mistake during his last mission. In an attempt to take control of the plane, he activated override mode, which allows the user to control all the systems near him. According to Gans, this function causes agents to lose consciousness and become out of control. Therefore, by activating it, the boy put all his friends at risk. However, Diane claims to have good news and reveals that she has managed to update the override mode so that the user can have full control of what is happening. Ali will also soon receive an updated version of Iris, but for now Agents Fit and Bobby are testing the device in the field to make sure it doesn't have any flaws. After a busy morning at work, Ali returns home and sneaks into his room. A few minutes later, Victor's mother appears with lunch and, seeing the relationship between the two, Ali laments the fact that his father is always busy with work. That night, while storing some boxes in the warehouse, the young man finds a trunk full of memories from his childhood and, next to commode, Ali sees some photos he took with his mother when he was still a baby. When he sees a video that his parents recorded of him, Ali gets emotional and picks up the music box left by his mother. At that moment, he finds a pendrive with secret files and can't access them. The next morning, the young man receives a call from Bakar and goes to meet him in a cafeteria. While they wait for Alicia to arrive, Ali asks his uncle if his mother really was a nurse, as his father always said. Just then, Alicia appears and the trio takes a shortcut to get to the headquarters of MATA, the agency they work for. Once there, Ali meets General Rama and learns that his next team mission will be to track down the gang that attacked the Cyberia mayor's aircraft. Suddenly, the mayor enters the room and the boy is surprised to discover that he was the founder of that agency. The next day, Ali and his team begin the first stage of this mission and raid a Bang Bears HQ. However, the villain manages to escape and the young man goes after him while the other agents stay behind to fight the security guards. Just as the boy was about to reach him, a gang approaches and Nikki steals the gun from a Bang Bear's hands. After handing the pistol to Andik, the woman starts a duel against Ali and the boy realizes that his opponent is wearing a pair of earrings identical to his mother's. He is about to be knocked out when Alicia appears and fires an energy sphere at Nikki, who quickly manages to dodge the attack. When she realizes she's outnumbered, the woman decides to run away and Ali goes after her. The boy chases her with his scooter through the city streets and they both almost run over some civilians. So, to stop the agent from continuing to pursue her, Nikki decides to make a risky maneuver with her motorcycle and jumps in front of a moving train. Luckily, she manages to escape without any injuries, but Ali doesn't give up going after his target and hitches a ride on the train to catch up with her. Then they both enter a passage inside a tunnel and end up in an outlying part of the city. When he gets there, Ali has an accident and passes out. When he wakes up, he discovers that he has injured his leg and Nikki is tending to the boy's wounds. During the conversation, the woman discovers that Ali is Ali's son and tells him that they used to be like sisters. The two met as teenagers and belonged to completely different worlds. Seeing the great difficulty that Nikki and her people were facing, Aaliyah decided to take action, and her first good deed was to build a prosthesis so that her new friend could walk without the aid of crutches. Over the years, they joined forces to change the lives of the other people who lived on the outskirts and, little by little, they managed to improve the place. When asked why she stole a Bang Bear's gun, Nikki reveals that she needed it to get a sample of Azurium, because only then could she guarantee the survival of her people. Now that Ali has recovered, Nikki asks the young man to leave and gives him a device so that they can communicate again. After reuniting with his friends, the boy returns to headquarters and Bakar begins interrogating a Bang Bear. His aim is to find out who is supplying weapons to the enemies who attacked the mayor, but the agent's friendly approach has no effect and Fit has to take charge of the situation. Despite his brutality, a Bang Bear is undeterred and refuses to reveal the identity of his clients. As a last resort, General Rama enters the room and says that he will reveal to the villain's wife that he makes his living selling illegal goods. Afraid of being abandoned by his wife if she finds out the truth about his work, a Bang Bear decides to go public and tells him that his client is called Vikram. The man is Beta Tower's director of operations and one of the mayor's most trusted employees. In fact, Vikram is one of the main people responsible for creating the city's development plan. Faced with this serious accusation, the general sends some agents to verify this information before reporting it to the mayor. So Ali and his friends have to infiltrate Beta Tower to investigate Vikram's activities without allowing his presence to be detected. After bypassing security, the group breaks into the suspect's room and, while Alicia checks the files on his computer, Fit and the others search the place. At this point, Ali accidentally discovers the existence of a trapdoor and, when they goes downstairs, the group finds hundreds of hidden technological weapons. So they take some photos to gather evidence and then leave. That night, Ali goes to visit Nikki and the boy has to learn how to use a pair of mechanical legs to help his mother's old friends break into the tower and steal the stock of Azurium. What the quartet doesn't realize is that the place is being guarded by a robot security guard who detects the invasion and starts shooting at them. Then, after stealing the substance, the group has to flee quickly and manages to evade the guards. However, the giant robot continues to pursue them and Nikki is almost hit by its shots. Determined to protect his allies, Ali uses Iris to control the robot and ends up being possessed by the tool. Instead of helping Nikki and the others escape, the boy attacks everyone who tries to get close to him and, after leaving the building, knocks down the gate in order to get out. In this way, the trio also manage to escape and take Azurium with them. When he regains consciousness, Ali gets up and finds the residents of the Pingjiran district celebrating the success of the mission. So the boy is welcomed like a hero and, after dinner, Surya takes him to meet Makya. The old woman immediately hugs him and tells him that if it weren't for Aliyah, she wouldn't be alive. In his first chance to talk to Nikki, the boy apologizes for attacking her while they were trying to escape from the tower and tells her that he loses control every time he activates override mode. Nikki then claims that she wasn't hurt and invites Ali to become an official member of her team. However, despite accepting the offer, the boy continues to work for the MADA agency and, in his spare time, helps Nikki and her friends collect funds to improve the quality of life for the residents of Pingjiran. Over time, Ali learns to use the fighting gear his mother made and, little by little, his agency missions take a back seat. Disappointed with her friend, Alicia invites him to lunch and confronts him. The girl claims to know that it is Ali who is sabotaging the operation and helping fugitive criminals steal weapons. When he is put up against the wall, the boy denies the accusations and leaves. On the way, he realizes he is being chased by a vehicle and goes into a supermarket to hide. There, he meets his uncle and discovers that the agency is already aware that Ali is a double agent. Bakar tries to convince his nephew to accompany him, but the boy refuses and manages to escape from the guards who are trying to capture him. Ali quickly escapes on his scooter and ends up being chased by Bobby. He tries to hitch a ride on the subway, but his ex-colleague stops the train from leaving and the young man has to flee once again. Seeing his friend in danger, Kamote gets out of his backpack and attacks Bobby. However, when the feline is captured, Ali attacks his enemy with a knee and flees. When he sees Bobby unconscious, Fit is furious and goes after revenge. He attacks Ali brutally and is about to hit him with all his might when Bakar appears and stops the agent from hurting his nephew. At that moment, Ali takes advantage of the distraction to run away, and then Nikki and her friends show up. The trio begin a duel against MATA agents and use their technological devices to defeat them. However, seeing Fitz seriously injured, Ali decides to stop the fight and tries to convince Nikki to leave. However, the woman refuses to abandon the battle until all her opponents are unconscious. Realizing that his friends have been seriously injured, Ali revolts and attacks Nikki, but she destroys all the boy's weapons and wipes him out with a single blow. When he wakes up, the boy is tied up next to the other agents and discovers that, all this time, Nikki has been looking for Iris Neo, a device created by the agency that is still being tested. The woman plans to use it to conquer Cyberia, and Ali discovers that it was his mother who created the device. The night she saved her friend's life, Aaliyah was not eliminated, but recruited to become a member of the MATA agency. After learning of this, Nikki rebelled and created an army to continue her missions. One day, while breaking into the agency's headquarters, the thief was surrounded and had to flee. On the way, she was surprised by Aaliyah, and the young woman tried to convince her to give up a life of crime. But instead of listening to what her friend had to say, Nikki chose to attack her and send a missile to destroy the city. Determined to save the residents of Cyberia, Aaliyah used Iris to take the missiles out of the atmosphere, but all this effort ended up costing her her own life. After revealing the truth, Nikki receives the news that Vikram is after her and goes to see him before the man ends up hurting her people. Now that she has Iris Neo, she can get rid of all her enemies and attack them without mercy. Just then, Mak Ya and Komoot enter the safe house and the woman frees the agents. While Alicia contacts General Rama, Ali and his uncle go after Nikki. In the city center, the mayor is announcing the project for the world's largest smart factory. Suddenly, Nikki and her allies appear and attack the politician because he wants to build the factory in what is now the Pingjiran district. The group then attacks the robot soldiers and security guards who are trying to protect the mayor. Nikki then uses the power of Iris to force the robots to attack him. However, when the mayor was about to be eliminated, Ali and his friends showed up and used a force field to protect him. The boy then has to flee with him while Bakar and Alicia fight the robots. Immediately, Nikki goes after them and, just as she is about to attack Komoot, Gans and other agents arrive on the scene to stop her. Together with Diang, the agent begins a duel against the criminal, but Nikki is more powerful than ever and doesn't make herself an easy target. Meanwhile, her allies try to resist, but end up being defeated by the members of the agency, who unite to protect the mayor. Just as she was about to lose the war, Nikki discovers that she is able to control people through the Iris Neo, and everyone wearing these glasses is under her command. At that moment, the agents start fighting each other and Ali is forced to activate override mode. In doing so, he loses control and becomes practically invincible. The boy uses the technological yo-yo made by his mother to strike back and hits the agents with his precise kicks. However, when Gans and Diang team up to attack him, the boy is unable to protect himself and ends up being knocked out by Nikki. When he loses consciousness, he finds his mother again and discovers that this is a program that Aaliyah left in Iris. The woman then informs him that the reason Ali loses control every time he uses override mode is because she has configured the device to protect him. Therefore, the boy's body acquires much greater physical abilities, as if someone else were in charge. Ali then learns how to control the override and, when he returns to his body, manages to use it to neutralize Iris Neo. In doing so, the other agents are no longer under Nikki's command and pass out. In order for the boy to take full control of the device, his mother's programming had to be erased and they finally had the chance to say goodbye. Now Ali has to stop Nikki from continuing to destroy Cyberia and block his opponent's attacks while trying to get close to her. At this point, the young man uses his energy spheres as a shield to protect himself and lands a powerful punch on Nikki. The woman is then hit several times by the yo-yos and can barely move. Then Ali ends the attack by throwing his enemy back to the ground. Realizing that she has lost the battle, Nikki activates her suit's self-destruct mode with the aim of eliminating everyone with one explosion. However, before her evil plan can come to fruition, she is transported into Iris and meets Aaliyah, who needs to erase her friend's consciousness so that she doesn't harm even more people. 3 days after the battle, journalists announced on the news that the rebels responsible for the attack on Cyberia had been arrested and Vikram had been dismissed from his post at Beta Tower. During the attack, the mayor suffered a leg injury and is recovering. Thanks to the major failure of Iris Neo, which allowed the agents to be controlled by the enemy, the project has been discontinued and only the original Iris will remain in circulation in the agency. However, since he was responsible, even if unconsciously, for helping Nikki in her mission to destroy the city, Ali will be punished and will no longer be able to use the device. Diang informs them that the glasses will be confiscated until they find an agent more prepared to use them. Although very saddened by this decision, Ali accepts his punishment and thanks his superiors for giving him another chance to continue serving the agency. At the end of the meeting, Bakar decides to share some of Ali's videos with the boy, and Ali feels proud of his mother, as she was a brilliant agent. After everything he had experienced alongside the people of Pingjiren, Ali couldn't ignore the precarious situation they were living in and, with the help of his father, he managed to provide the necessary resources for the villagers. Now they too will be able to live with dignity, just like all the other inhabitants of Cyberia. So what did you think of this movie? Leave it in the comments below. And if you liked the video, like and subscribe for more movie recaps. See you next time.